Hi, this is my new mod Slang. It's a recreation of the main puzzle feature from Lingo 1 and Lingo 2. And it's just a very small mod that I made to learn how screens work. It is intended more for like adventure maps and stuff, but it's all survival friendly. So you can craft everything, just changing the die changes which one you get. And if you have any of them, you can cycle them into the next one. And you can make a big version which just lets you type more just by surrounding it with blue terracotta. And you can cycle these ones as well. There's also this chunk eraser, which I'll talk about later, and an editing tool made like so. And now let's get onto the more fun part. So just like in Lingo, there's screens that you can type in. It's not case sensitive, so you can type in all caps, you can type in lower, it doesn't matter. And it will activate redstone. So the difference between all those tablets outside is just which line the answer is on. So on 1, the player will input their answer on the first line, 2, the second line, 3, the third line. And the size difference is just how many characters can fit on, but it functions identically otherwise. As I showed outside, if you get it right, it'll be green. If you get it wrong, it'll be red. And if you don't complete it because you're stuck or any other reason, it'll turn yellow. It doesn't turn yellow in the screen because I found that all the color changes just to be a bit overwhelming, but it does turn yellow here, so you can recognize, oh, I haven't finished this one yet, and come back to it later. It does all work with redstone, so it will activate, comparators, it'll activate lamps or redstone dust. The big one works the exact same way. Both sides can activate it, so it isn't just like one side or the other side. And now I'll show you just quickly how the editing tool works. Let's maybe take a big one. The editing tool just lets you type in, whatever you want on any line. You can even leave it blank. And this is a 3, so the answer line will be down here on the third line. So you can set that whatever you want, and of course on the actual display it'll leave it blank so the player can come along and put in their own words. So out here I just have some demonstrations of puzzles I took from Lingo 2. So this is like a classic, just a word puzzle really. It's tin, enterprise, so the answer is put tin in prize to get pristine. And I'll let you figure this one out. This one is just like this one, but you work backwards. And then there's also this one. It's the same kind of idea. Sage among us. Put sage among us. Very simple. And finally, if we go down here, we can see the chunk eraser. Basically, the chunk eraser is more for, I guess, like survival use. You wouldn't really care about this in adventure mode, but it lets you erase the answers off of all the tablets in the same chunk as the chunk eraser. So if I turn on chunk borders and I go into spectator mode, we can see that this eraser is in this chunk. So it'll erase this tablet, or this eraser, for example, is in this chunk with all these ones. So it'll erase all the answer written text on these boards. And all you have to do to activate it is input redstone power. So now if I go back into spectator mode, you can see it's erased all the answers off of the tablets. I will also say quickly that this is like safe from griefing. Like, of course, like players could just come across and break your tablet. But only the first person who edits a tablet has editing privileges. So if someone else came along with their editing tool and they try to edit your tablet, that would not work. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.